talking about the voting, we have Congress getting enhanced security for the 2025 electoral vote count. What's interesting about this is we don't have enhanced security at federal buildings across the country or police stations. We don't have enhanced security for police officers, all of whom have been materially damaged and harmed. 70,000 officers experienced some kind of damage, physical damage to their persons or their property during the sustained riots after the George Floyd death. We're talking about 9 months of sustained rioting and multiple billions of dollars in property damage. We haven't seen any sustained or additional security offered to those locales, but Congress will actually receive new additional funding and security for the election certification process that will happen in January, regardless of who wins. So this is posturing, in my opinion. They're trying to make Americans think that they feel unsafe, and they may feel unsafe. I don't care how they feel. What I care about is what they actually do with taxpayer dollars. This is a waste to me, and I don't agree with it. Now, the Department of Justice has now announced that they're dropping some charges and retooling plea deals for January 6 defendants. What's interesting about this is the absolutely unbelievable truth that people who simply paraded around the Capitol building or drank a glass of bourbon or somehow did trespass or aggravated trespassing are still in jail after 3 years. There are people in this country who have raped other people and haven't served 3 years in prison. Yet the J6 defendants continue to rot, some of them having committed suicide, some of them having died from cancer while incarcerated in deplorable conditions. So the Justice Department has been forced to offer retool plea deals or drop charges against people who breached the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, coming in the aftermath of the Supreme Court ruling that narrowed how federal prosecutors can pursue obstruction charges against those who were involved in the riot. They're now offering plea deals that do not include the obstruction charges, which were some of the more serious charges carrying up to 25 years in prison. According to Justice Department statistics, there were roughly 259 defendants facing this same obstruction charge when the High Court issued their ruling that narrowed how the law could be applied. Now, SCOTUS ruled in Fisher v. United States, and they said that obstruction charges could only apply to defendants who attempted to impact documents and other things in an official proceeding. Prosecutors would have to prove each defendant falls into that category by connecting them to the Electoral College certificates Congress was certifying on that day. Only 17 people, which is only roughly less than 2% of the roughly 1,400 Capitol riot defendants, were convicted of the obstruction charge. But they were not convicted of other felonies, but they're currently serving prison time on that charge. I'm hoping for some people to be released here. This is such a travesty.